Hello. You guys are early. That's exciting. I had to go and get my Zurvita protein to get all proteined up because you can tell the days when I go run in the morning because super hungry all day. Oh, hey, Jamie. Or is that Holly? That feels more like a Holly comment, so we're gonna go with that's probably Holly.
It's Jamie. Hello. It's me.
Okay, I was like, I'm not sure. I remember, so I'll hit my 7-year anniversary with Zurvita on Tuesday. And I remember we used to have this account that was a couple on Facebook together. And I didn't realize, I always assumed it was her that ran all their social media because it's more the case. And then, so I was like, thanks, doll, like, or sweetie, or something like Southern like that. And it was him, and I was mortified. I was like, oh my goodness, I just called this guy sweetie, and that's awful.
we do everything together. So it's always together.
I'm excited to have you you talking today. We're gonna get you talking and promoting all of your good stuff that you're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and move you over to panelists, and then I will mute everybody out as we get over there. Another fun story, when I first started, I was texting Mark and was trying to text him like a smiley face. Kirby probably remembers this, I see him on here. And I accidentally sent him the kissy face emoji, and I was like, and this is the moment I get fired. I was like, oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna mute you out. Jamie, Peter, you there?
I am here.
Thought so.
Give me a second and I will be visual.
We also have Joel and Patty, I think, are going to be talking a little bit today. Verna's saying hi to you, Scott.
Hi, everybody.
All right. Got my water, got my protein. I'm all ready. There's that handsome digital.
Hey, there's that runner. What was that movie with Tom Hanks? You go, where is it, Gumber?
Just keep running.
Just keep running. That was an awesome movie. He had a physical challenge. He couldn't even walk, and he believed again.
Exactly. Like we said, you can overcome a lot of obstacles. It's usually ourselves that get in our own way.
Isn't that the truth?
Okay, well, if you want to go ahead and get started, I'm going to
sure.
Let's kick this bad boy off. Thanks for joining us today, everybody. Welcome to Community Chat, #Zurvita Pledge.
Well, happy Thursday to everyone. And I'm seeing, want to give a shout out to Verna, who reached out to me at our last Zurvita Fest, and just was looking at some of her emails this morning, and I'm proud of you. You've lost, I think you said, about 6 or 7 pounds. And so kudos to you, and seeing a lot of people here. And, you know, this is becoming bigger than us, and this is really a community for Zurvita. We are Zurvita, to truly love on each and every one of you, to give you the tools and the support to move forward, to get unstuck. And, you know, since I've partnered with the company in going on 2012, we started these challenges and stuff. And some people were intimidated to get on the challenges. And And we really evolved to really what Zurvita is, what I feel God has placed us on this path to do. And that's people win at every level. We're all winners. And whether you're looking to break an addiction, whether you're looking to run a 10K, whether you're looking to truly have that relationship that you've always wanted to forgive, to reconcile, to truly lose weight, to gain muscle, we really realize that everybody's on a different path, a different journey, but the common denominator is we all want to be loved. We all want to move forward. We all want to get stuck. So here we are, and thank you for joining us. And, you know, what I wanted to do today, first of all, is if this is the first time you're ever on our Pledge Zoom is, and if you haven't registered and you just saw, you know, our post on social media, make sure you go to zurvita.com/pledge, register, then you'll end up getting an email back, and we invite you into an exclusive group where every day we're giving you news that you could use, whether it's nutritionally, fitness tips, macronutrient meal plans, recipes, and you basically are accountability buddies where you're really learning from each other, and it's a beautiful thing. Today I wanted to start with something that I feel is so important. You know, I travel all over the world and I speak on nutrition and fitness, the TV show, the radio show with Zurvita, and so many people ask me, how did you basically get from being, you know, almost near death with Crohn's disease, or how did you become a champion, or how do you eat the way you eat, or how can you be consistent? And I say this with all love and due respect, but I think that the question is really coming at me wrong, and the question should be asked not so much how, but why. See, because when you have that why, it truly opens up your whole world. Your blinders come off. When you find your reasons why, it gets you up in the morning. When you find your reasons why, you want to support your family. You want to be the head, not the tail. You want to be straight, not crooked. When you have that reason why, it becomes your rocket fuel. Regardless if it was an abusive background, regardless if it was mistakes that you made, we only have this short time, this vapor here on planet Earth. And when your reasons why become greater than any fear, become greater than any failure, then you truly become destined on who I feel God has created each and every one of us to be. And we're all original, one of a kind. There's no one like you. There's no one like me. My kids will say, thank God, Dad, there's not two Peters. You know, so what I say is, what is your reason why? And once you dig deep, and your reason why could be to not complain to your significant other. Your reason why can be to just get up and be filled with gratitude. Your reason why could be just making better choices at the breakfast, lunch, or dinner table. Whatever that reason why is, I want you to write it down. It's part of your declaration of taking this pledge. It's a pledge against you and our Creator. And when you do that, something happens not on just the surface, but it happens down to the deep of your soul, to your heart. And my hope, my prayer, and Zurvita's hope and prayer is that your hearts become soft and truly you believe again, and you truly do find your reasons why. I want to just share this, and I want to reach out to Ohio, to Jamie, and I want to give everybody in Ohio, especially Jamie and his wife, just a shout out. They have literally, spread the word of Transformation Systems with the Pledge, one of the most successful groups so far in what we're doing. And I just say thank you. And Jamie, with us, and I guess my question to you is twofold: is what is your reason why, and how has this pledge affected your life?
Oh man, just thank you for having me on. And you know, I have my pledge right here, so I have in my journal, you know, from the very beginning, and so I think there's so much power in the pledge, and but to really be simple. I mean, my why is my well, I'm 46 years old. I have a wife. I'm married to my best friend for 20 years. I have two boys, 15 and 6. So I have a 6-year-old, and I'm 46. And so I want to be around. I want to be healthy for my boys. But I think my why is to be the best that I possibly can. Really, if I really kind of dig deeper, and my why has been for a very long time just to be, the best husband and best father that I can possibly be for my wife and for my two boys, to be the father that I wish that I would have had. And and it really goes beyond just the products and getting healthy. To pledge and just, pledging to be better, and, reading through the things. I'm not going to read all the things that I underlined and all of that. But it spurred something for us. Holly is doing 90 days. She's running a mile every day in that pledge. Now she's done 365, so she may go all year. And for me, I love my wife, and I definitely, she's my person. She's the most important person to me aside from the Lord. And so, I'm pledged to, for 90 days, just doing something, nice for her, whether it's mixing up her zeal in the morning, and not to, I do some of those things anyways, but just to be better. And like it says in the pledge, to be the best, version that I can possibly be. And then, we have, so it's my family first, and we have an accountability group. We each have groups, men's and women's groups. So I have, 40 men, that we have in a transformation group. And, it's accountability. We're all looking, to one another for accountability, but, we had everyone read the pledge. And so there's power in that. And, they're accountable to me. I'm accountable to them. And, we're out of 40 men, of 20 men, reading Proverbs on a regular basis over these last, since we started on the 6th. And, it's been such a huge, blessing. And the pledge, I think, it can become, so much bigger than you when you really truly pledge. And when you just get passionate about something, and many times people say, gosh, you're just passionate about something as maybe, small as just being a best husband and father you can possibly be. But when you can get passionate about something and really truly pledge to be the best and walk that out and believe it, and you can become a beacon of hope to others. Not that I have this all figured out. I mean, I'm certainly on a journey, but being better. I mean, I'm watching Chewy as he's on his weight loss journey, and the things that he's doing. He's an inspiration. I follow him, and he's an inspiration to me. And so it's about impact too. No matter who you are, people are watching you. Scott, I saw him pop in here. I mean, he's an incredible story, and its impact. That for my why, it's a simple thing. I just want to be the best that I can possibly be for my family.
And I'm going to see everybody in Ohio the end of February. I'm excited. I've committed to your men's group that day after the workout, and I'm excited to become coming down there and just seeing everybody. And you said it best. It's like, all the dots are connected, and when you become that best version of yourself, people see that and they want to plug into that light. And that light is really his light being shined through you. You're the beacon of that hope. And then people want that. People are starving in a hopeless world that we live in. And that's why I feel that the X factor, the intangible, is this Zoom of everybody coming together. And even what you're saying, it basically then just triggers different thoughts on what people are going through. So I thank you for being vulnerable. I thank you for being obedient to God. I thank you for being a part of Zurvita. And I'm excited to see what Ohio and everybody in this country is going to do. So with that, I want to just make a segue to Joel. And Joel was one of our, I call it the 12 disciples. And we started this with the vision, and the vision became bigger. A lot of times when you get out of your own way and you let God be God, it becomes more than you could ever imagine. And, Joel was one of the 12 original people that we started this program to see. And then we launched it nationally at our Zurvita Fest. And the question that I have for Joel, and he's doing it with his lovely wife, and he talked and edified her so much. I met her at the convention, and she is fit and she's on fire, and she's kind of blowing up Mexico and working hard and stuff. And I guess my question to you, Joel, is, what's your reason why? And also, how does our transformation system help truly become that best version of ourselves?
Well, thank you, Peter. You and I could talk about this for the next 3 days and not even come close to the value. I'm going to start with the product. The innovation, my background is very similar to Peter's: sports medicine, sports nutrition, and have been in that industry for 30 years. And when you come across innovation and you come across things that are designed to work synergistically in a natural way, I mean, you really begin to have impact just by putting product in. And so the combination of moving those 4 products and adding some amino acids to that has blown me away about the simplicity, about the quality of ingredients, about what stabilized rice bran does. And when you look at all of that together, it makes me want to be better for me. The system approach is something that I've worked with for a really long time, is helping other people with a system. Well, what sometimes you forget is the system that you need for yourself.
Exactly.
And the accountability of doing something for me has really been a shifter for me. And I've helped thousands of people like you, Peter, but I've never necessarily put it in here and wrote it down. And for the last 120 days, we've been writing our food down, paying attention to details, and it's been it's been a lesson in discipline that I wasn't expecting. And that lesson of discipline has filtered over into so many other things in my life. And had it not been for this pledge group that we got started, and now using the transformation system as an explosion factor for the entire Zurvita company, it's a marriage made in heaven. And I'm extremely excited about continuing this journey. And I've got a target, and I've got some weight loss and health goals and some fitness goals, and I'm not getting any younger. And the better I can be, the more shape I can be, the more mobile I can be. And this goes to Jamie's point, the better example of a man that I can be to up and coming people. And maybe there's something in my journey that I can help somebody else with, not get roadblocked or stumbled, because I can pass that vision and pass my journey on to somebody else. Man, it's about changing lives and being an impact and being real, and fighting through the craziness every single day, because there's days I don't want to work out, and there's days that I just want to eat pizza, and there's days that donut looks really, really good. But it's about a bigger cause and a bigger thing, and it has not much to do with Jackie and I. It's the example that we're being for other people, and the lives that we're going to change today, tomorrow, and the next day.
Well, we feel blessed that you are part of Zurvita, and I know you're on fire. And as you said it, it's like sometimes a lot of times in life, we end up teaching what we've always wanted to learn. And a lot of times when I blog, so I have spiritual blogs, I have my nutritional blogs, and a lot of times people, like, some of the spiritual blogs will actually go further around the world in sharing than even some of the fitness. And people will thank me and stuff. It has nothing. I'll say this to everyone. 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, like clockwork, without an alarm, I get up. And I spend that moment with God. And he gives me those words, not for everybody, but for me. So when I'm writing, a lot of times is things that I'm going through. And then he's entrusting me with a platform that's worldwide. That's not mine, it's his. And I have it for a very short period of time that I'm here. And it is my responsibility to be obedient to then share that light, that hope, that love with that platform. So I can relate exactly to what you're saying, Joel, because it's like it is way bigger than us. And the beautiful thing is that we all come together. We are Zurvita. And my goal before I take my last breath, and I have a few, is to find a cure for Crohn's disease so people don't need to live, with such pain, but also to make Zurvita a household name where people know that it's a company of character. It's a company that basically their first founding principle, we glorify God, and we don't say it under our breath. We say it boldly with our shoulders back and our chest out, and we truly want to pay it forward and help people. So thank you, Joel, for being on this call. And for many of you that are listening right now, I hope that this Zoom is provoking your spirit, is maybe something that you weren't thinking about, that you can get off of this and kind of just soul search on truly, why you're doing this, why it's important to be a better version. If you're stuck, like I said on our last call, I know amazing CEOs of companies that wear $3,000 suits and live in $2 million homes, but literally before going home will drive to the inner city of Detroit or LA or New York City to buy an 80 bag of heroin because they're medicating themselves on something that they haven't been able to release. So until we get rid of that junk, until we leave the past behind, we're in 2020, until we truly move forward and have, like I said recently on our Monday call, that vision, without action is just a dream. So you really need to truly put action behind your faith. I want to give the platform for a moment to our first woman of the day. Patty was another of our 12 disciples, I call them, another one of our people. And she said it on stage for people that was not at the Zurvita Fest. I think that they were picking me because they felt sorry for me. I think that they were picking on me because they picked me because I was a little overweight. Or I was sick, or they felt sorry for me. And I believe with all my heart, God picked each and every one of the people that were supposed to be, because we're so diversified in so many different ways that it really, really gave a clear picture of the world of America. So Patty, you have been through some health issues. You're still going through that. You've been through personal loss. You've been through a lot of different trials and tribulations. What's your reason why now, and how has this pledge, which you're now paying it forward and you have your own small group, how has this affected your life?
Well, thank you, Peter, for that. I don't believe it. I believe like you. I think we were all chosen for a reason now. And I was in such a bad place when I first got chosen, and, just depressed and felt not a lot of hope. And so it clearly came just by everybody being so vulnerable about where they were in their life and their heart, that everybody, in my mind one day, it just hit me that everybody's got stuff they're going through. And I thought, I've just got to get over myself. And so, it's just like I got hope again, and I realized, it's like, yes, I have sickness, but, I know with the transformation and the mindset and everything that, I'm going to overcome a lot of that. But just now is, my family is still number one. I want to show them that I am doing what I'm saying I'm going to do, you know, for my kids. They know what I've went through. They know mentally where I've been at to show them. And, you know, and then just, you know, we started our own little pledge group because I wanted a true pay it forward moment. I've, you know, since the beginning of this industry, I remember seeing the movie Pay It Forward years ago and thought if I could just start a movement like that, how great that would be. And you know, after we launched it at convention and just thinking about how it affected our lives, you know, and watching the different people, you know, Scott and Chewy and Joel, everybody in it, it's like we have the chance to just change not just 10,000 lives, you know, we're going to change many more than that. And I'm excited to be a part of that.
Well, we are excited to have you, and you know, I've kind of adopted you, so you're stuck with me for life, and I'm very proud of you. You know, it's one thing my kids will say, you know, being on TV and radio and speaking, they're like, they know that their dad could talk, but they more watch on how I live my life than what I say. So I say this with all due respect to everyone listening. Talk is cheap. You know, you could talk until the cows jump over the moon, but until you truly believe your own stuff, embody it, then you become that. And when you become that and you believe it, then other people are going to believe in you when you start talking it. But it's more the things you do than the things you say on how you're going to build a bigger team, how you're going to have a successful marriage, how you're going to basically lose weight or gain muscle. You can buy the best sweat clothes, sneakers, but if you don't show up at the gym, it's not going to happen. You could buy a 5-carat diamond ring for your wife. You could go on exotic trips to Cabo. You could go on great vacations. But if you don't try to win that person's heart every day, you don't try to put that person first the way God's love truly is, you're dead on arrival. You just don't know it. So it's truly how you live your life. And a person who I want to end this call with, who truly was, and I say this with love, we're all broken in certain ways, but this man had the kitchen sink thrown at him and he couldn't get out of his house for a couple of years. And I think many people who have been on the call knew that his brother kind of, I thought was a stalker, was trying to get in touch with me, interceded, was used by God to try to help his brother. And I'm talking about Scott Spears, who was well over 650 pounds. And he would have died if he really didn't do anything. And his brother loved him so much, reached out to me. And I remember I was in Kroger's after I got off the call, and I just, God was working on my heart, softened my heart. You know, sometimes our busyness buries God's greatness. And it was like, we're helping so many people. It's like, I don't even know this guy, Jeff. I don't even know what he's talking about with his brother. And when I got in my car, God just said, before you put the engine on, shut up. And literally worked on my heart to say, you don't need to know all the answers. You need to just be obedient and take one step forward and investigate this. I took the call with Scott, and when I got off of the phone, I apologized to God for being a little defiant and being sassy, and I got it. We at Zurvita believed in Scott, and Scott is a customer, and he basically was one of the people on our Zurvita pledge. Scott lost over 130 pounds. And, Scott's life has changed. I'm going to introduce him in a second, but having him on stage, he became almost like, you know, this little rock star because people related to his story. And I'm going to say something, and I'm not going to break our confidence, but Scott's meeting different people. He's developing different relationships. He sounds different. You know why? because Scott believes in Scott. So without further ado, Scott, I appreciate you being on this call. You've been through a whole lot. What are your reasons why now, and how has some of our products, you know, helped you get to where you are today?
Wow. I appreciate you saying that, Peter. I really do. All I know is God has been moving profoundly through this entire process. And I'm sorry, you asked how the products have helped me through the process. I've been taking the transformation system. The Zeal and sometimes the Zeal Plus are helping me with my energy. They're helping me do with my day-to-day activities, get out of the house, go to church. I have to take Zeal before I can go to church or go to the office at the church to do anything. The amino acid is helping me. I'm not Joel. I don't know the science behind everything. It seems to help me not be sore the next day. The burn is obvious. It helps my metabolism. The protein is probably my favorite thing. It helps me sub out for meals. Honestly, wish I had more of it.
I guess my question to you, and I guess my question to you is this. We only have a few minutes left on this call. I guess my question is this: for people that maybe were invited onto this, for people that maybe are on here for the first time, for people that really don't know 100% what this Zurvita pledge is truly all about, for people that are on the fence that want to get in shape or want to improve an area of their life, but they're kind of wishy-washy, what would be the take-home message? I mean, you took, there's that word impossible, and you took "im" out of it, and you made, it impossible. You separated it. You truly are living it. What would be the take-home message for people that are not sure about, truly making that commitment to themselves?
God can take anyone, regardless of your situation, regardless of what you're going through in your life. He can take you, he can mold you, he can transform you if you just let him. But having a group that you're accountable to on those days when you mess up, that's massive. And having products that you can take that make it just a little bit easier, that's major too. But you've got to believe in something. And I'm not sure if just believing in yourself is enough. But it's definitely a start.
Well, I just want to say thank you for being you. And, I want to end this with, before I give it back to Adriel, is that, every week we have these Zurvita pledge Zooms, and every week I'm going to be asking specific questions, and in our Zurvita pledge, I even want maybe some questions that you want answers to, so that we can start literally provoking each other's minds to bounce things off of. I want you, into me you see. I want us all to earn that trust and to be vulnerable coming in here, taking our CEO hats off or taking our wall down, so that we can reveal the areas that we need help in. And I think that's the most important thing. When I do television, I do it where we do sometimes 30 takes. And when someone's watching it, it's close to, there's no perfect, but it's close to perfect. What we're doing here, to me, has so much more meaning because we are truly becoming uninhibited in our thoughts to get unstuck, to move forward, to take one foot, to put it in front of the other. Know that I have met, and so many of you have met, some wonderful people that on paper have PhDs and MDs behind their name and master's degrees, and they come from great, genes, and they basically married wonderful people and have great families, live in great communities. But I believe that sometimes the common denominator of some of the greatest people that have the greatest potential is fear. And fear and anxiety is real. Fear will kill. Fear will kill your dreams. Fear kills hope. Fear kills everything you've ever wanted, is literally going to paralyze you in something that's not a spirit of our Creator. So what I say to each and every one of you, you may feel uncomfortable. You may feel like you're out of your comfort zone. But the only time, in my opinion, that you truly have breakthroughs, the only time that you truly grow is when you get out of your comfort zone. And as I've said many, many times, most of the times, all the growth is in the valley. It's not on the mountaintops. It took me years to be able to lift a trophy that was Mr. World or Mr. Universe or Mr. America. But I enjoyed the journey more. I learned more from the years, from the sweat equity, from the tears, from truly breakthrough after breakthrough, from going out in Michigan in 2 degrees, doing my road work of 3 miles a day, of working out in a basement that were filled with rats and water bugs and all this stuff. Those were the hungry years that truly made that one moment on stage, worth it. So it's not being on the mountaintops is where you're going to learn your stuff. It's where you are right now. And in my opinion, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. So open up your mind and your heart and allow this time together every week to truly get you unstuck and be vulnerable. And if you have not registered, what are you waiting for? Go to Zurvita.com/pledge and take this pledge today. I'm going to send it back to you, Adriel. And also a shout out to Adriel. She couldn't, she's young and beautiful, but she never ran and she couldn't run a mile. She would be sucking wind. I mean, I'd be seeing her posting Big Macs and different things and stuff. And she's like, I could look great. How many miles did you run today? And you want to do a 10K soon, but I'm so darn proud of you because if you say you can or can't, you're probably right. Not only have you said it, but you're living it now. So kudos to you.
Yeah. First of all, I have never eaten a Big Mac. I've eaten a lot of double cheeseburger meals. I have never had a Big Mac specifically. So yeah, it's funny. When I first started here, Peter helped me strengthen my knee back up, and I started running, and I was doing half marathons, and I got pneumonia, and it just kind of kicked my butt, and I never really got back on it. And that was, I don't know, like 5 years ago now. I'll hit my 7th year with Zurvita next week, so it's been a minute since I've been back on the track. And I was a runner growing up, and I don't know, Everardo, part of our Dirty Dozen, his goal was to be able to run a half marathon at like a strong speed, just running, not like for a medal, just for himself. And just seeing him and hearing his stuff really inspired me to get back on it. And yeah, so my half marathon is next Sunday. So yesterday I decided to stop playing around and doing one-off miles and to start doing a 10K a day until I hit my race, because I needed to build up the endurance and really start doing that. So yesterday I did 3 miles before work, and then I did 3 miles after work. And the miles I did yesterday when I got home, I didn't even use fuel. And I felt probably the strongest I have in a long time. And this morning I got up after doing 6 miles yesterday, like 3 miles the day before, and through more miles in like a week than I was doing in like 4 years. And I woke up this morning and I was like, I'll just do the 3 miles. And then I just wasn't paying attention. I was listening to this book, and I didn't stop, and I was at a decent speed, and I didn't get sore, and my footwork was right. And I looked down, and I'd been running for over 4 miles, and I was about to be late if I didn't stop to get ready for work. So I was like, oh, maybe I can't run a 10K right now, but I definitely could have run it. I was at a strength thing, and I was telling Peter, it really shows that we're our biggest obstacle. Like last week, I remember running through 1 mile and being like, just stop, that's enough. Like, you're tired. I made my own excuse, and then you just get tired of your own crap, and you push through it, and you're like, you know what? I'm better than I'm telling myself I am. And if these other people can see that I'm worth more than what I'm giving myself credit for, then maybe I should do them the respect of valuing their opinion. And, like really seeing myself for what I am. So I really am grateful for the pledge group to really help get me there. And, and when I cross that finish line next week, I'll be thinking you guys. But
you gotta video it, post it.
I will. I'll post something like in the group before I run. What I'm pacing right now, I will shave 45 minutes off my last half time if I can keep up with it. So that's a big accomplishment, I think, for not having run anything decent like this for half a decade. So I'm excited. I already signed up for another half in Colorado so I can visit my family, but that altitude will be real fun. So I'm going up there a week ahead of time so I can get used to it. But enough of me. This is about me. But so fun things that we're learning. We have a new email system, and sometimes our emails are going into your spam, which is no good. So if you can add Zurvita Corporate onto your contacts in your email, check your spam, because some of you might have been sent your pledge emails, but you haven't actually received them yet because they might have gotten filtered out based on whatever your notification and your filters are. So I want to make sure that you have that. I went through and tried to message everyone that's pending for admittance into the Zurvita Pledge Group. We cannot legally let you in without agreeing to our terms because we can't. So I've been reaching out to people trying to remind them to answer the questions and agree to the terms and stuff like that. But Facebook blocked me. They thought I was spamming people because, well, I was spamming people. So they blocked me. So I have to do it in little bundles right now. So if you know anyone who hasn't been admitted in yet or is trying to get in, let them know like I cannot let them in without answering those questions. We want them to be a part of this, but we have to legally cover both everyone that's doing workouts in there, that's talking about like health and fitness and diets and stuff like that, as well as ourselves as a company. So if you can just talk to your people about that. Also gonna give out a shout out. I know Jamie and Joel are both in this, and it's something that we're moving forward to doing as a group. But if you haven't seen the transformation, there's Zurvita Transformation 2020. They have some really awesome stuff going on in there. They have some really good workouts. Brandon kicked my butt earlier this week. I don't regret it because I will appreciate my bikini body that I built in the winter time by putting the work in now. But there's a lot of really good stuff. They even have descriptions on all the trainers so you can see. So if there's anyone that you think fits your style a little bit more, but I would encourage you to kind of check that out and help them and yourselves with the transforming 10,000 lives. And the more and more that we get that, like Patty said, it's not gonna be 10,000 by the time we're done with it.
Absolutely.
So I think I've covered my bases.
Very good.
What about you, Peter? Anything else?
No, I just want everybody to have an amazing day. And this is bigger than us. And most importantly, if you have not, gone to zurvita.com/pledge, do so. If you want to invite somebody that you feel needs help in a certain area of their lives, I feel this will be a blessing to them. And I'm just so blessed that we have been given this opportunity to reach so many people around the world. And to see this grow every week is just very humbling to me. So everyone just, put your shoulders back, your chest out, and truly, as I always say, it's like what we focus on tomorrow morning is how we live that day. And what we speak today is what we prophesize, good or bad, tomorrow. So try to defrag your brain on that negativity. And even if you got to bite the side of the inside of your mouth on not saying something or trying to correct somebody by tearing them bit by bit, especially if it's your spouse, just try to get into these positive habits. I say that with love because it happens to the best of us. But when you truly constantly give out light with positivity and talk to people about what they're good at, not what they're not good at, what they've done, not what they haven't done, then their heart's going to pound harder, sweeter, softer for not only you, but they're going to end up loving themselves because you're truly edifying them and lifting them up. And in my opinion, at the end of the day, regardless of your gender, regardless of your faith, regardless of your age, your color, where you live, everyone wants to be loved, feel loved, and love. So something to think about as you go through your Thursday. God bless each and every one of you, and we will see you again next Thursday.